What is going on, everybody, and welcome to another Answering Your DMs video. If you guys don't know what the heck this is where I'm going to go through my social medias, pretty much Instagram mostly because it's a little bit easier for me to go through, and I'm going to answer your DMs, your direct message that you guys send to me, because I get a lot of them, and this is a great way for me to actually get back to you guys and help out other people with questions that I think will help out more people. So without further ado, let's jump into this. Alright, so the first question I'm going to answer comes from Ted here. He's asking kind of a general question, which he's wanting to join the Marine Corps, and I get this question a lot, which is, hey, I want to join some other branch or maybe some other military in general, some other country, not the U.S. Army. Do my videos still apply to the Marines, to the Air Force, to the Navy, to the Coast Guard, all these other things? Specifically here, he's asking about smaller things like laundry. I made a video with you guys and I talked about laundry and when you're gonna do laundry and all that stuff. Things like that, little things like that might be different. That might be different across the Army in general. You're going to get issued laundry bags, and if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, I did make a video basically talking about really everything you need to know with laundry, where you're gonna put it, when you're gonna get to do it, things like that, how that's gonna all work out. But I've talked about that, and that could be different depending on the branch that you go. But the general concepts that I talk about and the mindset that I hope to get some of you guys into before going to basic training will help you. Some of the more general things, like, I don't know, maybe my ROTC OCS video, you know, what route should you go in becoming an officer? It's kind of similar with other branches as well as the Army. You know, the benefits of ROTC versus the benefits of other things are basically the same. And then as far as basic training goes, you know, I have videos talking about, literally my first video that I really did was day by day what you do at basic training. That's obviously going to be different. Like, you're gonna have a different basic training branch, different structure, all that stuff, but the mindset, how to treat NCOs, making sure that you're ready to go, physically ready to go, making sure that, you know, you can pass that specific branch's PT test, things like that don't change. But when you're talking specifics like laundry, like, yes, I would say that that's going to change. All right, another pretty common question that I get, which I haven't talked about in other videos, comes from Eliza here, and she's wanting to go into the Army, and currently she needs an ankle brace. So at basic training, can you wear an ankle brace? Can you wear a knee brace? Things like that. People ask me this all the time. People ask me if they can wear like sleeves for shin splints and stuff. And unless you have a profile, the answer is no. So when you go to basic training, you are gonna possibly get a few physical issues. You might hurt your ankle or twist your ankle, and you're gonna go to this place called sick call. I made a video talking about that. When you go there, if you do have an injury, maybe you do hurt your knee and they say that you can wear a knee brace, they will write up a profile for you that you will carry around with you at all times. So whenever you do PT in the morning and some drill sergeant comes up to you and he's like, why do you have a knee brace on? You're like, oh, well, I have a profile, drill sergeant. You will show him your profile and they'll be like, okay. But if you don't have a profile, if you don't have like explicit permission to wear knee braces and ankle braces and things like that, you're not gonna get to do that. All right, so here I have a pretty general question about weight loss. This person, Luke, he has to lose 150 pounds before joining the Army, is asking for some general advice. And I kind of wanna give my advice and then talk about something else that I've gotten a few other times, which is, you go into a recruiter's office, you have to lose at least 100 and something pounds when you go and talk to a recruiter. Sometimes a recruiter is gonna tell you, hey, come back to me whenever you're close to being more ready. And sometimes people will message me, they're upset with their recruiter because they won't talk to them, blah, 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 blah. If you happen to fall in that category, that space, like, you have a long ways to go. 150 pounds is gonna be well over a year before, like, if you work really hard, it's still gonna be really over a year before you're able to do that. So your recruiter's like thinking to himself, why am I gonna waste my time with this person that statistically more than likely you're not going to lose the weight? So they're like, why am I gonna waste my time with this? Come back to me when you're closer to being ready. So let's say you have 150 pounds to lose, you lose 80 pounds, right? And then maybe go talk to a recruiter then and be like, hey, look, I've lost 80 pounds and I'm really, really wanting to do this, rather than, hey, all of a sudden I want to join the military, I gotta lose 150 pounds, and you haven't put in any work or anything to do that. So that's my advice. If you are really overweight, trying to go talk to a recruiter, show them that you are actually you're putting in the work on your own time to actually lose a lot of weight and then go talk. Because if you just go talk to them and you haven't lost 5 pounds yet, then they're gonna look at you like, just come back to me later. And then my advice as far as losing 150 pounds, that's a lot, right? So there's not gonna be any specific tactic. There's not gonna be anything. I always talk about being consistent. But when you're talking about 150 pounds, the first 50 pounds are gonna be relatively easy compared to the last 50 pounds. So what you have to do is make it a lifestyle. A lot of people, they have these goals, and sometimes I kind of fall victim to this, right? So for me, it's kind of like weightlifting goals. So if I want to lift a certain amount of weight, I'll work really hard, and then I'll hit that weight that I can bench press, or that I can squat or do something. And then it's just like, okay, I hit that goal, I'm good to go. But for me, fitness is kind of my life, so I'm still always working at it, but I don't have the same mindset or grind unless I had that specific goal, right? So some people will have their specific mindset or grind to want to lose the weight, but they're not making it a lifestyle for them to lose the weight, right? So they're doing all these tactics, they're trying to take these weight loss pills, they're trying to do all these little things, but they're not making it a part of their life. To really lose 150 pounds, you stay fit, to lose 150 and stay fit and keep on losing, because just because you reach the bare minimum or the maximum weight that you can join, if you join then and you stop, you're just going to go back overweight and you're going to get kicked out of the military because you can't pass tape, you can't pass weight, all that stuff. So to make it a lifestyle and not worry so much about the time. So it's like, okay, I got to lose 150 pounds. I'm going to do it in the next year and a half. Don't think so much about that as much as for yourself and your body and everything else, making it just something that you want to do. And then when the time comes and you're ready and you've lost a lot of weight, then go talk to a recruiter. That's just my little bit of advice. Quick little question here that doesn't really relate to the Army. Can I do a little room setup video? If you guys didn't know, I'm about to move. I'm moving in about 2 weeks, so just a little fun fact tip thingy or whatever. I will probably do something because my new apartment, I'm gonna have a separate room for my office and recording and all that stuff, and hopefully I can actually make it look pretty cool. And I think my last question for today is gonna be by Dion, and I may or may not have covered this before, possibly in a live stream or something, but he's basically saying, hey, my kind of personality trait is in serious situations and stuff, I'll smile, I'll laugh. What's gonna happen to me if I do that when a drill sergeant's yelling at me and I smile and all this stuff? Some people will say that. Some people will say things like, oh, I wouldn't be able to join the Army because I couldn't handle a drill sergeant yelling at me, or I'd laugh, or I would punch him in the face, or all this other crazy stuff. And especially towards the people who say, oh, I couldn't join the military because they would fight back with the drill sergeants. I think that's completely ridiculous, and it's just them just coming up with some excuse of why they wouldn't join. Because when you're in the situation, you're gonna kind of know, you're gonna be in the scenario, the lifestyle of that. That's not gonna really come across your thoughts or anything. Yes, of course, probably sometimes every now and then a private does punch a drill sergeant and then they get kicked out of the military. So that's probably what's gonna happen to you. But as far as smiling goes, laughing, things like that, I don't think you're gonna laugh, because if a drill sergeant is in your face, right, you're thinking a little bit differently. You're gonna be a little bit more scared. You're gonna be different, right? So the way you think right now, whenever you just have like a normal person yelling at you and you're just laughing at them, or you smile, or you're in a classroom and the teacher's yelling at you, that's a lot different than when a drill sergeant is yelling at you, when you're in the environment of basic training. So many people will say in serious situations they'll laugh, right? But it doesn't really happen at basic training. Like, yes, every now and then it'll happen. And you ask me, like, have I ever seen it? One time at basic training, I saw somebody laugh or smile or something. I can't remember whether they laughed or smiled or whatever, but they weren't taking somebody seriously. And it was at reception. So it was the very beginning of basic training. Well, not even really basic training. It's at reception, which is before basic training. And his punishment was he just had to stand up in front of the entire battalion, and he just stood there for like a couple hours while everybody else was just sitting down and we were waiting to do things. He just stood there. The guy was yelling at him. There was some other drill sergeants that came around, and it was like, if you're gonna stand here and smile, then you can just stand up in front of the whole entire battalion and just stand there, right? I can't specifically remember any other situations at basic training when somebody was smiling at a drill sergeant or laughing at a drill sergeant who was being serious. All I can say is if you do it, you're gonna really piss them off because you're in that environment. And if you know that, hey, if I do this, remember this guy, the only experience that I know of, he did at reception. So it was before drill sergeants can really do anything to you. Remember, their punishment was just to make this guy stand up for a couple of hours. Whereas at basic training, the punishment is gonna be getting you smoked. So you're gonna have to do push-ups, you're gonna have to do some other exercise, air squats, something, or you're gonna get the rest of the platoon smoked. Or if you do something stupid to like the first sergeant or a company commander, you could get the whole entire company smoked. So the consequences, you're not gonna be in the same mindset of, hey, oh, this is really serious, I'm just gonna smile. That's not how it's gone from my experience. Just because you're in that environment, your mindset is a little bit different. So even though your personality on the civilian world will be that, oh, I'm gonna smile in this stressful situation, at basic, when you have a drill sergeant in your face, that's probably not going to be very high up there on the things that you're thinking about, which is, oh my gosh, I'm going to smile, or I can't help myself. And just for the heck of it, to finish off this video, I opened up my Snapchat and getting this question right here. A lot of people ask me this question: can you use an electric razor at basic training? Unless you have a profile, no. Right? You got to use a normal razor and profile. So a lot of people maybe don't shave all the time, or you don't shave every day, so this doesn't happen to you. But if you get like really bad razor bumps, and I mean really bad, like you have to get pretty bad razor bumps for them to give you a profile for this. And if you do get that, then maybe you'll get like an electric shaver profile to where you can use that, or you'll get a profile to where you just have to keep your facial hair under 1/8 of an inch. So you'll still have to use some kind of electric shaver thing to do it. But as far as just, can you have an electric shaver versus a regular razor? I'm saying that's so weird, shaver, razor. The answer is no, unless you have basically a written permission saying that you don't have to use a normal razor. All right, so that's it for today's Answering Your DMs. Went through some Instagram and one Snapchat message. So if you guys want to be on maybe a future Answering Your DMs, or maybe you want to ask me a question that you think will be good for other people, you can let me know in the direct message. I can't get back to everybody anymore, but this is kind of a way for me to be able to sit down and actually get back to you guys on social media. I really enjoy it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, hit that like button, that would be awesome. If you want to stick around some more videos, the subscribe button, that would be even better. Instagram, Snapchat are right there. I hope you guys have an amazing day, and I will see you guys later.